Well, hello, YouTube. This is going to be a bit different, this video today, because I don't do much of these. And, I I've been reading a lot more than I usually do. And, I think reading is one of the better things to do is because you learn more when you read. So, I have all the books that I have read. Right? Oh, not all of them, because I don't have all of them. But, I have six of them four of them that I've read because I am starting on the fifth book now. But I'm gonna give you a how I want to read them, how long it took, and how long stuff like that. Hopefully this video goes well, and let's get to it. So, I think the first book. No, because this wasn't the first book I read. Let's see. I had to pick up the book. Mockingjay. I read this book when I was in high school. We were doing this thing where we had to read the book, and we had to read a certain book. And at that time, my reading was one of the best because I got to read stuff like this and higher up stuff, right? So it was good. So I basically completed this book in a week because I didn't want to complete it in few days and be okay, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take my time with it. So it took me a little bit to read this book, but if I actually tried to be a week, I could because I did. Maybe 2 weeks after school was done, I read this book again, and it took me 5 days. So I beat it. Basically, I beat the week, and I haven't really read it. I haven't really read it a little while because I don't really read that. I read a lot, but I'm trying to read other books. So this is the first book. I'm gonna place this back. Okay, this is a big one. No one thought I could read this book, but I did. I proved people wrong on this one. My teachers literally didn't know because my teacher said if you want to read it and you do good, then you do good. I read, and this book is not because it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I read this book I read this a couple times, but when I first started reading it, it took me almost 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks just to read it fully because I didn't want to completely be okay, oh shit. You know when I've had this book for too long when I didn't want to go quite I didn't want to go quick, right? And when they tested me on it first when I was in school. They tested me on it. And so they thought that okay, this is after I read the Mockingjay, so they knew I could read books like the Mockingjay. So if you think about it, starting from this, which had a decent amount of pages, to this, I've read all the Harry Potter books. I've seen all the Harry Potter books, and I have to admit, this was my favorite book. It's just what I think. It's a really good book. So, and it took me quite a little while to beat it though. To finally, my first time reading it, it took me a little bit. And after a while, I got used to it and I got better. So that's good. So, yeah, just noting, the third book I'm actually going to talk about, I didn't read it completely because it is short stories. Kind of like fairy tales. But just warning, I've read maybe 5 fairy tales in this thing. There's 15. I still have 10 more to go. But so far, how the writing is going, it's really good. It's a really good book. I really like this book. Well, it's a whole bunch of stories. So it's the Doctor Who, the Time Lord fairy tales. I got this from like the schoolistic stuff that you get from like school and everything. I got it from there, and it's really cool because like I'm a fan of Doctor Who, as people have known. I have a lamp that's striped with the TARDIS, and I have the Funko Pops. You really can't see the smaller ones. You can only see the big ones, but like whatever. So, but still, like this book, when they made it, I saw it in the thing. I'm like, okay, it was cheap. Decided to get the money to the person, the people. But like, I had to mail the thing, which is okay, which is not that bad. But I got the book. I started to read. I didn't read it after a while. I kind of like kind of misplaced it, and then I moved back here, and then I was looking through my stuff. I found it, and me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And where I would like to, like, I took my time to read books like this because they're interesting. And I'm on like the fifth fairy tale, which was not that bad time. So okay, this next one, I don't think. Well, this book is actually really good for it being so small. It's knocked down from the other ones I've actually read. Animal Farm. This is just the copy that I got. There's other copies, but like Animal Farm, it's like 10 chapters, like 10, maybe 11 chapters in this book. And this, if people have not read this book, they have to, because this book is amazing. My mom actually read this book when she was in school. It may seem her finding old and stuff like that, but no, I'm not trying to say that. This book, though, was based on a time where everything was going wrong. I think this was based in 1912, the Russian Revolution. So, if you think about it, the Russian Revolution was kind of a bigger thing at that time. And well, from what I'm getting about this is like other people turning on people, but the way this author did it, they turned them into animals like pigs, hens, anything like animals, and see what it would do. And I have to admit, as soon as I got this book, I read it right away, and this is a good read. I have to admit, even I'm saying this, and I like certain books. This is a good read. The next book is, though, it's from the same author, but it's a different book. Okay. It is a bit bigger than what Animal Farm was, but like 1984. It's basically people spying on other people. They kind of control, saying like, oh, you can't do certain things and stuff like that. From what I'm getting at, I'm like on chapter 2. I'm not that far in it, but like from Animal Farm, which was like probably like not even 200 pages, to this. I saw this book the one day, and I got it, which books for me are kind of turning a bigger thing, because I like reading a lot more, so what can you do, right? So, as you can tell, I'm using like a old bus pass thing I got. Literally, I haven't even dented this book yet. This is all I have to read, and I've only touched that part, which is not bad. This last book, I've never read it yet. I bought it maybe the same day I got 1984. There's a few people that might not like this book because it was about a different time. So just be a little bit cautious about this, because I don't know how good this book is. I've never read it. I bought it because it was cheap. It was $8.99 for this book. So, The Third Reich. If anyone has known, well, of course people know that because of the war. They teach it in school, and they try to teach that kind of like lower, like not to make it as big. But I saw this book at the bookstore near the mall, And I'm like, okay, I've wanted to read about what fully happened because I really didn't pay attention. So I bought the book, and I've never read it yet because I want to finish 1984. It's gonna take me a little bit to finish 1984, so I'm not gonna get into this book, not for a while. But the Third Reich a Chronicle, it has like halfway through the little things. If you see, like, I don't know if you can see it. There's like little whiter lines. They're pictures of like little things of what happened. It's like there's German lettering and stuff like that. So it's, don't get me wrong, at that time, this was like, when this was made, I don't know if like people thought it would be good. I don't know when this was made. Sorry, my nose is bothering me. I actually don't know when this was actually made. I think it's newer because the way this is. I've never really read it, so it looks brand new, kind of. So, yeah. So, this is just new to me. I want to show off some things that are like, I did my Funko Pop. I did my Funko Pop collection, and I did like my books. The 3 books I actually showed you, I just got them not that long ago. So I'm still trying to get used to them, still trying to do stuff like that. So if you want any more of these type of videos, if I get more stuff or if I get some interesting stuff, I will make a video about it because I want to show off. I want to kind of show things like this, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And make sure to please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And actually, no, comment and see if you've read any of these books. I don't know if anyone's read The Third Reich. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. So I don't know if anyone's heard of it. But comment down below if you've actually read these books. Because no, I'm not talking like, of course, that people's read Mockingjay and Harry Potter. But like 1984 and Animal Farm. If any of you have read this book, like just comment of how what you think of this book, because I want to get other people's opinions on this thing. So, okay, so if you comment, I will look at it. I will get back to you on the comments when you get them. This video, I don't know how long this is gonna take to get up, but like, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you want more content like this, leave a like, and I'll get more stuff that's interesting.